So, what is going on?
What's going on in 101 Country is going on here. This is what's going on in 101 Country.
Hello and welcome to your In.form program right here on 101 Country WBDC and 18 WJTS. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam, and today in the studio we welcome our very special guest, Miss Jen Wilson from Careforth. Good morning, Miss Jen. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good.
Fantastic. So today we are going to dive into the world of Careforth, which, I myself have never heard of until we spoke and whatnot. So we're going to take a kind of deep dive and explain what this service is, what you guys offer, and all of these different things. So, Jen, before we kind of jump into it, can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do at Careforth?
Yeah, I'm the account manager for the Southwest Indiana counties here in Indiana. I love what I do. I love helping people, and we just want to get the word out and resources to people that can use our services.
Wonderful. And again, we will go into how important these services are because you guys offer a niche of things. And again, in order to help people care for themselves and those that they care for, Careforth. Will you tell us a little bit about Careforth's history for those who maybe don't know? And again, I'm thinking of like different names that Careforth is similar to, but Careforth itself, and just kind of dive into that for us.
Sure. So Careforth, we've been doing structured family caregiving for over 20 years. We operate in 10 states, soon to be Ohio. We were the leader in structured family caregiving in Indiana. We have over 3,700 families on services currently. We take pride in taking care of that caregiver. Caregiving is very difficult, and we provide the resources that they need financially, mentally. We help them, support them with whatever diagnosis they're caring for. If it's dementia, we're providing support along how to care for that individual in the home, and how to help that caregiver cope with the many changes in aging. So structured family care is basically gives them the capability to age at home with loved ones or family members, friends, whoever is there with them helping.
That is a very big reach. Again, for people who may have not heard the numbers, you guys are just everywhere. So here locally, whatnot, I mean, we are in the studio here in Jasper right now. Where is the closest CareSource resource at? I know you guys reached out to us about sharing this whatnot, and you had someone who was unfortunately not able to make it from Bloomington. So you guys are spread out,
yes.
But here locally, where can we kind of find Careforth right away?
So I would be your local contact as far as the account manager. I would be that pivot point to get you into our care teams. We are in every county. We are a remote company, so we work remotely, but we do have an office out of Indianapolis that we go to periodically, but we are a remote company, and we have care teams in every county within the state. So we have people that can go out and help these caregivers and get them on board very quickly. So
wow, that is again, we saw the peak of remote working in, of course, the pandemic, and yes and no, good and bad memories of that and whatnot, but being remote for this type of service and being able to provide support, I think that makes you guys extra unique, because then that means you can be anywhere you need to be at any given time, and knowing that you're in every single county is definitely a plus, because that means no matter where you're listening, if you live or reside in Indiana, you can get help from Careforth. So, Jen, will you tell us a bit more about who can Careforth help? I know you mentioned those who are caregivers, but can you give us an example of the individuals that you guys have, or the people who you want to eventually possibly reach out to you for help?
Sure. So this is a waiver service through the state of Indiana. So if you're caring for someone, it can be a child, it can be an elderly person. If you're caring for someone, or you know somebody that's caring for someone, they have to live together. But if that is the case, then I would just encourage them to reach out. It is a waiver-based program through Medicaid. So we would take a look at that consumer being the one being paid for or cared for, and we would have them evaluated by the state. We work with all of the area agencies on aging in the state of Indiana, and we also work with all the managed care entities. We've partnered with all 3 of those. So if you're 59 and under, you would be evaluated for the health and wellness waiver. If you're 60 and over, they would take a look at the pathways waiver. So basically, the person being cared for needs to be at what is considered a nursing home level of care or a skilled level of care. So they would need to be, that caregiver would need to be doing at least 3 things for that person throughout the day. So, helping them prepare meals, bathing, transferring between a bed or a couch, anything like that, they would take a look at. They want that person to be able to age at home with their family and friends and be able to, we help them not just financially, we help them with, like I said earlier, all of the aspects of that diagnosis that they're dealing with. We want to make sure the home is safe. We don't just pay that caregiver, we actually go in and help them with issues that may be safety issues and different things in the home. We will partner them with like Meals on Wheels and different sources to help improve the quality of their life.
And being involved is so important. And the fact that you guys are flexible and it's not just a certain age group. Again, we hear assisted living and we think maybe of our older folks around here, and it's very limiting in that sense, but there are people who need that extra support and need that help, and caregivers who also need that support and that help in this area to do what they do at home or to take care of those that they truly care about. Jen, will you tell us, you briefly cascaded through a lot of the services you guys offer, but what other services maybe did you or haven't talked about yet that you want people to know about? Because I would imagine you guys deal with so many different facets of caregiving in all the different avenues that there are.
Yes. So the main thing with structured family caregiving is that caregiver is going to be paid. Again, they have to live together. So the biggest thing with our program is they're going to get $1,200 to $2,000 a month, and it is a tax-free stipend through the state of Indiana. So we're going to pay that to them, but along with that, we're going to assign a registered nurse and a social worker to that family. They're going to talk with that caregiver each and every day, keeping eyes and ears on that person. We don't physically go into the home, but we do have an app that helps us communicate remotely. It's a HIPAA-approved app. We actually developed it pre-COVID.
Wow.
And it really does help us to keep our eyes and our ears on that caregiver and let them know that each and every day we're there for them. If I'm caring for my mom and she's older and she gets up and she's really confused this morning, I'm going to put that into my notes for my nurse that day, and later that day that nurse will be checking in. They'll be calling to say, hey, how's mom doing? Is she still confused? So the big thing with our services, yes, they're getting paid, but we also are seeing a lot less readmissions to the hospitals. We're seeing people living better, healthier, and longer because they're having that extra person actually help that caregiver out. So our readmission rates are in the single digits, and with over 3,700 on services, that's pretty good. So we partner with a lot of the rehab facilities, the hospitals. We actually are in 34 states with caregiver coaching.
Wow.
It's a non-paid caregiver program, but we work with like Anthem, United, the bigger healthcare providers, and they're finding that with having that extra person, that nurse and that social worker helping that caregiver, that the whole household is doing better. Those readmission rates are staying low, and they're living a better life. So we're just there to guide them.
So you guys, of course, are prioritizing those who need that help, but you're also prioritizing those caregivers that tend to get forgotten or get put on the back burner more times than not because of various different things. Again, Careforth sounds like the place to be, the place to go in this facet if anyone were to need help with this type of stuff, which is just fantastic. Jen, you talked about contact and how best people can contact for our local area here in Du Bois County. But at the same time, I will say, if you call the Du Bois County representative, that doesn't mean that they won't redirect you to whatever county you need, because, again, it's covering the whole state of Indiana. So how best can they get more information or contact Careforth for our local residents here in the general area of southern Indiana?
They can give me a call. My number is 812-631-7057. Anytime, give me a call. We'll discuss, the specifics around that household and what their needs are and see what we can do.
Fantastic. And for those who didn't have pen and paper out, and that's A-okay, we will make sure that this information's on our social media pages or on the WJTS YouTube page. All kinds of fantastic things to ask Jen about, maybe on the phone or maybe in person, whatever you guys figure out. Jen, you have an exciting event coming up for those who are interested and intrigued about Careforth. What do you want to tell us more about as far as this Hobbig Center event that you have coming up for Careforth?
Yeah. On October the 8th, we're going to be having a free breakfast for seniors in and around Du Bois County. If you can give me a call and let me know you would like to come. We will have professional speakers. It's open enrollment for Medicare. There's a lot going on there with insurance and such. So we will have representatives there to help guide through any Medicare, Medicaid questions you have. We're going to have a hospice representative. We're going to talk about safety in the home. We're going to help provide some exercises they can do to stay healthy. And we'll talk about Careforth as well, just helping and guiding and just really providing resources to seniors in Du Bois County to reach out to.
And do you have a age range? You say seniors, which is, it could be anybody, everybody. Nobody has an age sometimes. So what age are you guys kind of expecting for that event?
Honestly, if you're caring for someone, or it could even be a younger person caring for their grandparent, or it doesn't matter. Just come on out. Just make sure I know you're coming. If you could give me a call at 812-631-7057, it'll be on October the 8th at the Hobbig Center. So another thing I'd like to mention is Caregiver Nation. We have a social media page that's available whether you're on services with us or not. So you can go out there and maybe connect with other caregivers and find people to help you mentally and personally, because it is very hard to be a caregiver. So I just offer that up as well.
Having networking is never a bad thing, and it does not matter who you are, for what purpose. Just having that support system, digitally or in person, is super, super integral for whatever you're doing in your everyday life. Jen, is there anything else you want to make sure to mention? Because you guys have a lot going on, a lot of stuff, a lot of services that you offer to people. And again, I would say the best avenue is probably to give you a call and ask about it so that you can cater whatever it is towards each individual, right?
Yes, because each household is a little different and there's a lot of facets to it. But we want you to learn more about it, and we want to help guide you. And like I said, if our resources aren't what you need, we'll help guide you to other resources. So
fantastic. And of course, Careforth is online with the social media support group. You can search Careforth on Google and you will find something there that hopefully tickles your fancy and you can learn more information. But Jen, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing what all Careforth is about, because it sounds like you guys are doing some amazing work all around the state of Indiana, and just maybe introducing this idea to somebody in our viewing or listening area and letting them have that first step is super integral. So thank you for your work, and we're very excited to see what Careforth has to offer for everybody in the area.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. I'm Kaitlyn Neukam. Thank you so much for tuning into your In.form right here on 101 Country WBDC and 18 WJTS. And if you need any assistance in the near future for any type of assisted caregiving, make sure to give Careforth a call whenever you need.